Hello everyone, welcome to this video where I'm going to try and talk about Maliss but still in depth for Master Duel as it is coming tomorrow and it will be Tier 0. Now, let's hop right into it and talk about Maliss' gimmick. Maliss loves banishment. He loves to banish your opponent's cards and it loves to banish itself. Because most of the monsters when banished and one of their spellcasts too, Maliss in the Mirror, will have um, effects when being banished. I say most of the monsters, but I mean to say all of the monsters. just that one of the monsters will have a different effect from the others, which is Marcher. Marcher, when being banished, can pay 300 life points to target one of your banished Malice monsters and add it to your hand. That is specific to Marcher, because all of the other monsters in Malice, when being banished, will pay 300 for the main deck monsters to 900 for the extra deck monsters, life points, to special summon themselves. So, yeah, basically, banishing Malice monsters is extension. Either as a form of adding it back to the hand or summoning it directly on the field. Now, let's just read the Malice cards. Malice number says, Malice link monsters that point to these cards cannot be destroyed by card effects. It is relevant against Senpai to protect you from Lightning Storms and Raigekis, and Dark Horse too. It is also relevant against Crystron with their traps that pops, and same for the Blue Eyes trap too. Alright, now let's hop onto the activated effect, which is that you banish one Malice monster from the deck. Also, for the rest of this turn, Malice monsters you control can 600 attack, so it is an attack boost, plus you banish a Malice monster, meaning that you special summon a Malice monster. So very good 1 card 2 body combo, and then the effect to special summon itself for the banishment if it is banished. Then, let's hop on to White Rabbit, which will be the one you want to banish most of the time with Dormouse. It says, you take no damage from battles involving Malice Link monsters that correspond to this card. Now, that is a garbage effect, let's hop on to the next one. If this card is normal or special summon, you can set one Malice trap from your deck with a different name than the cards in your graveyard. Now, that line here, with a different name that the cards in graveyard will not come up, because we place the traps as one-offs. But yeah, it is good to be able to set a trap from your deck, and doesn't that line remind you of some other deck? Special Summon Sekaiage, Search Poplar, Summon Poplar, Search Spell or Trap? Yeah, that's basically Snake Eyes. Alright, now on to the next one, which is Jessica. Jessica says, any monster destroyed by battle with a Malice Link monster that points to this card is banished. Now, that is not too good, but might still come up in some niche cases, so do keep in mind that line exists on Jessica's effect. Now, onto its real effect. During the main phase, you can banish one Malice card from your hand, then you can draw 2 cards, so it is a pot of grids that generates more resources as you banish the Malice cards, which will trigger its effect as long as it is not either one of the trap or the fit spell. And then it can summon itself back from the banishment, ta-da-ta-da. Anyway, now the last monster, which will be Marcher, well, last main deck monster, I should say. It says, your opponent cannot target Malice Link monsters that point to this card with card effects. It is now the best protection ever that you can have on your Malice main deck monsters. You are protecting your Link monsters from Imperm, from Veiler, from Dream Beam, which is very, very relevant in today's Yu-Gi-Oh! So yeah, very, very good protection effect here. Now let's hop onto the activated effect. During the main phase, if this card is in your hand, quick effect. You can banish one other Malice card from your hand or graveyard, and if you do, special summon this card. Meaning that you get to special summon here, plus either Malice monster you decided to banish with its effect, meaning it is a 1 card, 2 body. And the best extender overall, plus, since it is a quick effect, interaction during your opponent's turn. Now, let's hop onto the spell and traps. Let's start with the spells with Malice in the Mirror. Uh, it says, target one face-up monster your opponent controls, banish one Malice monster from your hand or face-up field, and if you do, negate the targeted monster's effect until the end of this turn. So basically, it is a mix of droplet and infinity permanence designed specifically for Malice that is searchable. It is, in other words, a very good card. But we do still play it as one-off because it is not a card that plays by itself, and it also only see use in going second when you are hard draw it. So yeah, not necessarily a card to play free of since it is searchable anyway. And then it also has an effect when it is banished. You can target one Malice card in your graveyard, banish it, and if you do, add one Malice card of the same type, monster, spell, or trap from the deck in your hand. So basically, if you banished a monster with that effect, you add a monster. If you banish a spell, you add a spell, etc. etc. It is very, very good in order to, during your combo, for example, if you get to banish Malice is a Mirror, banish whichever name in the graveyard you do not need to then add a marcher, which will be follow-up or extension through hand traps. Then we have Malice in Underground, which is the fit spell for Malice, which says when this card is activated, you can banish one Malice card from your hand, deck, or graveyard. This is obviously very, very good because banishing a Malice means special summoning a Malice, and you can do that from the hand, deck, or graveyard, meaning you do not have to keep your names in the deck. You can, in the grind, use that effect to banish a monster from the graveyard if you want to, if you feel like it is the best thing to do in your given situation. So very, very good. Then it says, sorry, I lost track. Yes, here. While 3 or more of your Malice traps with different names are banished, Malice Link monsters gain 3000 attack. So, you may notice that I only have 2 Malice traps in the list, because there is a and more than 3 on that effect, because there is a third one, which is TB11, which most optimal Malice lists will cut, because it is just worse than GWC in almost every single aspect. The, the times where it would come up as being a better cancer than GWC is like 1% of the time, at best, maybe. So yeah, not a very good card to add. So yeah, that 3000 attack boost will not come up if you do decide to play the deck without TB11. And anyway, it is not a game state you will achieve most of the time, even if you do decide to play the free top cards. So yeah, anyway, onto the next part of the effect. While you control a Malice Link monster, your opponent's monsters can only target Malice Link monsters for attacks, which is, this time, very relevant, because this means that if you have any Malice Link monsters on your board, your opponent cannot attack over your IP, cannot attack over your Appaloosa, cannot attack over any of your smaller non-Link Malice monsters. So you have white battle protection, especially since Heart Scrimpter, as we will see later on, could get very, very big. So now, let's hop onto the trap cards. I have mentioned GWC as being better than TB11. Let's just see why. I guess for the sake of comparison, let's read TB11 first. TB11 says, you can activate this card the turn it was set by banishing one face-up Malice monster you control, and that is a gimmick that you will find in every single Malice trap cards. They can all do that, which is very strong in some cases, as it will allow you, if you hard draw a trap plus a Malice name, to dodge Imperms and Velos, or Dreambeams too, like I mentioned before. And so, its effect is to special summon one Malice monster from your deck, or if your opponent controls 3 or more cards, you can special summon one Malice Link monster from your extra deck instead. Now, you may think that it is pretty good, great, even in fact, but do keep in mind that an extra deck monster you summon with that effect is not properly summoned, meaning that you cannot just banish it and revive it immediately. It would have to go back to the extra deck for you to then resummon it correctly. Then you may banish it and trigger its banishment effects. Otherwise, it's just a dead extra deck monster that you have in rotation just to link up, basically. And then we have another restriction on TB11, which says for the rest of this turn that summon monster cannot attack and neither player can activate its effects, meaning that you have to go out of your way to get that monster you summoned out of the field, then back onto the field, in order to just use its effects. It just sucks. This card is terrible. But I mean, it's fine the fact that it summons a monster to just link up, but GWC is just straight up better, and you will see why. GWC says that just like all of the magic swaps, you can set it to turn you can activate it to turn into a set by banishing a face-up Maliss monster control. 2. Special summon one of your Maliss monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. Then, if you control a Maliss Link monster, you can gain life points equal to the original attack of the special summon monster. So it is your main way to get back life points in the deck, since you do spend a lot of those to summon new monsters from the banishment. And it is, just like TB11, a trap card that generates a body. And this one is now negated, so it is just straight up better. Yes, you do not summon one from the deck, but if you have GWC in rotation, that means you already have other Maliss monsters in rotation. And otherwise, that just means you have bricked on the top card, and this would have just been the same with TB11 if you had drew it without any Maliss names, because you would not have been able to activate it anyway. So yeah, GWC is better than TB11, period. TB11 is a brick, you do not need it. Now, on to the next drop card, which is MTP07. So yeah, you can activate it on the set, Then if you activate it, you add a Maliss monster from your deck to your hand. Then, if you control a Maliss Link monster, you can banish one card on the field without targeting. It is a better Mirror Jade that is easier to set up and can be activated the turn it was set. This card is crazy. But do not let this crazy effect fool you. Yeah, sorry, I had a little mind fuck going on in my brain just now. So yeah, do not let that very strong effect fool you. GWC is still better than MTP07. If you had to just keep one trap in the deck, it would be GWC, and you will see why as we hop onto the extra deck monsters. Let's start with the reason why GWC is so strong, which is White Binder. White Binder requires 2 monsters, including a Maliss Link monster for a Link summon, and says, if this card is special summoned, you can target up to 3 cards in any graveyard, banish them. So, it means that, at any point, if this card was special summoned, no, not at any point, sorry, but at any point, you can special summon it if it is in rotation with GWC, to then banish your opponent's resources in their graveyard, and still be able to banish your own resources in your graveyard to be able to trigger your names. So yeah, very good card right off the bat here. And then, during your main phase, you can set a Maliss trap from your deck or graveyard, which is very important, because this means that you will be able to set during your combo GWC with White Rabbit, and still use GWC during that turn to either combo further or through hand traps, and then you will be able to set it back with one binder for your opponent's turn. So you do not use GWC, you just use it for free. Now, onto the banishment effect of White Binder. If this card is banished, you can pay you 900 life points. Like I said, for the links, you pay 900 and 300 for the main deck ones. Special summon it, and then draw a card. Meaning that, in your combo, Maliss has the means to draw 3 cards, two with Jesse, one with White Binder. which is obviously bonkers. Being able to draw 3 cards is just crazy. S- Especially when your end board is just that strong. Uh, I will not showcase the end board in today's video, but I will show it in next video where I do the combos. Anyway, that is it for Wild Matter. Now let's go into Red Ransom, which requires, like Wild Matter, 2 monsters, including a Malice monster, to for its Link summon. I mean, 2 or plus monsters, to be more specific. Then, it's while this card points to a monster, the original attack and defense of all effect monsters your opponent control are switched. You can only use each of the following effects of Malice Red Ransom once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can add 1 Malice spell from your deck to your hand. So yeah, it is very good to play into boards where your opponents have problematic levels of attack around their monsters, or to protect yourself from their monsters during their own turn while they try to battle. As you can, in most cases, make their attack much lower if their defense is very, very much lower than their attack. And then being able to add any spell means that you can either add the fit spell as extension, or you can add Malice in the Mirror as interruption. So yeah, very good special summon effect overall. And then, if that was not enough, if this card is banished, you can pay 900 life points to special summon it, and then you can banish 1 other Cyber's monster from your deck, meaning that banishing Red Ransom means banishing also with it any other Malice monster to generate 2 bodies instead of just 1. And since it is a link free, you get a free link 4 if you want to. That's crazy. Now, onto the last Malice monster, Her Scriptor, which is the Giga Boss monster, the one you want to have on your end board if possible. It says, quick effect, you can target one of your banished Malice cards and shuffle it into the deck. And if you do, banish 1 card on the field, and while this card points to a monster, this effect and its activation cannot be negated, meaning that it is yet another non-targeting banish effect that your opponent cannot negate at all if you have any monster pointing to its blink arrows, which is very easy to set up, obviously. And this specific text means that even if her scriptor was negated before activating the effect, it will still resolve. It just acts as if this card was never negated in the first place, which is very, very strong. And then it has for effect when banished, so that you can pay 900 life points, special summon it, and double its attack. So, not only is it a banish effect, non-targeting, that you cannot negate, it is also a 1 card OTK. Because if you might do the maths correctly, you may notice that she's only 2500. So if you attack with her on an empty field, then banish herself with her own effect to summon her back, she will only have 5k, meaning that she will only need 2500, which is not enough for lethal. But remember, Dormouse boost your attack by 600 for the rest of the turn for all Malice monsters you control, meaning that she will be actually 3100 attack and will come back as 5600 attack. So yeah, very, very, very good card to just lethal or interrupt your opponent. That you will want to have in rotation if possible. And if not, it's fine, honestly. You may end up in a situation as a Malice player where you get hand trapped a bit too much, so you lacked enough bodies to summon her scriptor. But it's fine to not have it directly in rotation and just use your Windbinder and your trap card as your only interruptions, plus means to create a lot of follow-up too. Meaning that if your opponent does not kill you, you kill them next. and they can't do anything about it at all. Alright, that is it for the Malice cards. Overall, now let's talk quickly about the tech choices you can play. Now, my personal choice of tech for the deck is Bomber Dragon, Topology Bomber Dragon, which is a link force that only requires two or plus, sorry, effect monsters. So very easy to summon when you have very easy to access link 3 monsters that generate bodies too. And then it says if another monster is special summoned to zone a link monster points to, so including itself, while this card is on the field, you destroy all monsters in the main monster zones, so it does not destroy itself if it was in extra monster zone. Also, your other monsters cannot attack for the rest of this turn. So it has that one restriction to not make it too easy to live for your opponent if you trigger its effect when you're out turn, which is good. It's a good balance. But honestly, if you have that monster summon on the field as Malice with your entire loop available, with Match Hair in the hand, Winebinder in the graveyard, and GWC in the grave, no, sorry, not the grave, on the field, you will be able to trigger the Topology Bomber Dragon 3 to 4 times while still having resources left. So that is 3 to 4 board wipes. It's good. It's very good. Your opponent will not play through that one if they do not have the means to negate it. And even if they do, the rest of your cards are just very good too. So your opponent will just lose one card to deal with one problem among many. So yeah, that is it for the Bomber Dragon. Now onto the other tech choices. Dimension Shifter. Honestly, I think Dimension Shifter, while being very attractive in the banished deck, is not necessarily a no to addition, because Malice, being potentially a tier 0 deck, will be the deck you will fight against the most, and you may not want to have Dimension Shifter active against your Malice opponents, because under Shifter, the board you build is much weaker than if you were not under it. While it is much easier under Shifter, in comparison, to play into a board as Malice. Because even if you get negated on any monster, or if you get destroyed, that monster will just come back, as it will be banished and summon itself back on the field. So very easy to play into board under Shifters, making Shifter a very double-edged sword when playing Malice against Malice. So yeah, I don't know about Shifter being in the main decks. For sure, Lancia should be in the main deck on Malice release, at least, because a lot of people will burn Malice, and even if they are not, it's really good against Crystron too. So yeah, do add your Lancias to your deck list. Very important. Now, Digicrow. Digicrow is a hunt trap you should keep an eye on, because if Crystron or Maymail end up being the two decks that can play alongside the Malice, because Snake Eyes will receive a huge nerf, and Blue Eyes is fine, but we'll probably see a lot less representation in the Malice format, I think. We may see more Mermaids and Christians, because honestly, against Malice, if you do not go first, you better hope you have the right hand traps in your hand, or you have lost. There is no other way around. So you will want to play strong going first deck that plays well through hand traps. And Christian and Mermaid are exactly those type of decks. And since Malice loves to play Bestials, and Christian and Mermaid dodge Bestial very, very well, Crow is still something you should keep in the back of your mind to add if you feel like you are facing a lot of mermaid and crush one. Okay. Also, Diluco is also so good to use against GWC to banish it because Windbinder cannot set a trap back from the banishment. So to get back GWC, your opponent would be obligated, forced to summon Heartscriptor, use Heartscriptor effect to banish a card, and shuffle back GWC from the banishment, then set it back from the deck with Windbinder, which is very convoluted and not something they can do if you just react to the Windbinder effect to try and set back GWC. Now, they will still set the other trap, obviously, but GWC is still something that will create a much more annoying board to play into. So it will be a good riddance overall. So yeah, Crow is good, but not exactly the best, so just a tech choice for now. Now, not a main deck addition. Then we have Terahertz, which is a good end board boss monster, but just not as good in my opinion as Bomber Dragon, while also being harder to summon and requiring more slots in your extra and or main deck for it to be viable. So yeah, I don't think it is a good card to play in Malice. I mean, no, it is good, but I don't think it is optimal. Like, not optimal at all. Bomber Dragon is just much better, much better. And then if you were to play Terrors, you could have Dissolve for the spell or trap negate, you could have Aggregator for the face-up card on the field negate, or Packbeat to place a monster on your opponent's field into their back row as a continuous trap. Or there would also be Code of Soul as a potential tech with Terahertz to foolish it, as you can banish it from the graveyard to link summon into a quick link 3 or higher star-based monster, meaning you could link summon into Heartscriptor. Then we have Dotscaper, which is a good card overall, but kind of a win more card, just like Terahertz, because you do not need it in the deck, but it is still a very good card and much better to add than Terahertz, I must say. Because Dotscaper, when sent to the graveyard or banished, can special summon instead back. And if you noticed, Red Ransom does not necessarily banish a Malice monster from your deck when she is banished too. She can banish an inside boss, meaning that if you need an extra extender and you already went through all of your Malice names when it comes to rerunning them through the banishments, Dotscaper can be that one extra extender you need. Now, obviously, most of the time you will not need him, but still, he's worth mentioning. Then we have Circular, or MathMake in general, but mostly Circular, because without Circular, MathMake would not be a thing. So the MathMake engine you could take into Malice would be those 7 cards, sorry. 3 Circulars, 1 Sigma, 1 of the drop, and 1 of each XYZ monsters. To have a mini package where in case you drew Circular, you simply have the MathMake trap ready to summon l'application. Wait, no. Wait, something's wrong here. Uh, oh, I done goofed. I forgot. L'application needs 3 monsters. Sorry, my bad. Um, yeah, so you would actually add another MathMake monster. Because Circular would on the summon of Sigma search for Super Fatal, and then Alambertian will search your third MathMake monster to summon for Lapetian to be live and be able to send a random card from hand, field, and back row to the graveyard. And that extra card will most probably be Subtraction. Yeah, or Addition. No, addition actually. Sorry, I just got confused between the two. It would be addition because he is free to summon. And yeah, that is it for the tech choices. Now I just quickly go over archetypes you can mix with Malice to give it more flavor. Um, well, here it is not an archetype, but it is still a different play style. You can play bestial focused Malice list because bestials are your best extenders in Malice, on top of being valid hand traps in the game. So playing a lot of bestials is actually really good with Malice. In fact, it is the best way to play Malice if you can afford to play that many bestials in the current meta, which I don't think will be the case immediately, but we shall see. Then we have Malice with Millennium, Master Duel's signature engine, because we do not have time rules here, except in the Challenger Cup, I guess. But yeah, anyway, Millennium is obviously very strong in Malice because it is 3 bodies on top of a zombie vampire that has 12 different names you can meet into to summon and combo. So yeah, I don't think I need to explain you why it is super good to play in Malice. And since also Sengenjin does not play well with Impulse, we cut Impulse. I mean Sengenjin and Golem. Medium in general does not play well with Impulse. We cut it for Duel. Not that Duel is good in the format, it is in fact very bad into most decks. But it is a good card to play into Maxi or Fuvalos, which is what you lack as Malice. You do want to be able to combo into those, if possible. I mean, you can under Maxi or Fuva and on. Wait, I do not have IP in that list. I was going to say you can add on IP plus, plus GWC under one summon for Fuva or two summons for Maxi. Uh, but yeah, no, that's not the case here. Well, what can I cut for IP? Because it has to be Firewall, yeah. Firewall is the least important one here. And there we go. And then, yep, I don't think there's anything more to say about the Millennium part. Then we have the last way to play Malice, I think, among the good ways to play it, I would say. Otherwise, it is just a cop strategy to make a worse deck into a better one thanks to Malice, instead of trying to bettering Malice itself. It is Malice with Finsmith. And here I built that decklist in the format of a 60 pile, where we have a bit of everything. We have a lot of bestials, we have of course the Finsmith, we have our Malice names, we have the Millennium Engine, and of course the best hand traps we can fit with that given decklist. Which are still a lot of hand traps too, by the way. It is a 60 card decklist here, but we have 7 bestials, 3 Nibiru, 3 Fuva, 3 Ash, 3 Nimbum, 2 Maxi. So, oh yeah, and 3 Lancier. So yeah, we have a lot of hand traps. Do not let the 60 cards factor blend you into thinking that this deck will not draw into hand traps. It will, at the same ratios than the 40 cards deck. It's just that your hands will vary between Finsmith hands, medium hands, bestial hands, Malice hands, and sometimes a mix of everything or just two of the Sunshine / archetypes. And yeah, that is about it for the different ways I would say Malice is good to play and how it works. And now all that will be left to do is show you combos in a future video. Now, I hope everything I have mentioned here will be at least a minimum useful to you, that you enjoyed the video. If you did, and I did make that video public on YouTube, I still don't know if I will do that, consider liking and subscribing. I keep stuttering, my god. consider subscribing to my channel. Yeah, I did it finally. And I wish you have a good day. Stay hydrated. See you next time.